And so here we are, God's children, sitting here observing the horrific stuff going on all over the world. Real brutal stuff. Real hardcore mess going on all over the world. Out of the God-given blue sky, the gray clouds, green Mother Earth, blue seas, the law-breaking criminal in the White House, knick-knack tycoon, old Massa Neck, Archie Bunker, got nothing better to do than denigrate our brothers and sisters from Somalia, the good name of the Somali people. Like, huh? You, with all that's going on, you got nothing better to do?
Somalians ripped off that state for billions of dollars, billions, every year, billions of dollars, and they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you, okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I could say that about other countries, too.
So we're scratching our heads, like, why? Why would he just drop that in like that? Like, why is he thinking about Somali people and speak of them in such bad terms, very ugly ways? Why? I think he's staging and preparing to invade Venezuela, on the shores of Venezuela as we speak. They're mounting frigates, destroyers, corvettes, real war machines. The entire U.S. Navy is positioning to invade Venezuela and start another forever war. Took resources away from the South China Seas, left us vulnerable over there, away from the war in Ukraine and Russia, Syria, Palestine and Israel, Sudan, Colombia, all over. I mean, the world is on fire, and you got nothing better to do than to bring up the name of the Somali people. So we're scratching our heads. Why do dictators just find a way to drop issues like out of nowhere? So we're thinking, why? Why would? Because we're thinking people. And the only thing we can think of is he probably tried to go with Iman Abdul Majid. And he never got her. He tried to with Iman, and Iman wouldn't give him the light of day because he's so ugly looking. He's just feeble-minded. He's just total eugenics.
Hi Vogue, this is Iman, and today I'm very excited to share with you my life in looks.
Gotta go in, I'm late. It's okay, come on.
Iman, can we get your solo, please? Can we get the solo dress? No?
This is what I love about Iman. She never just fixed problems. She turned them into empires. By the late 70s and early 80s, Iman wasn't the only black model making waves. Bethan Hardison was out there being fierce. A young Naomi Campbell was starting to turn heads, and the fashion industry had figured out their favorite game, musical chairs. Here's how it worked. 1 spot per show for a black model, maybe 2 if they were feeling generous. Let the black girls fight over it. May the best walk win. It was like f***ing Hunger Games, but with higher heels. The really sick part? It was working. Agencies would literally pit black models against each other.
And so he decided, I'll become president and I'll take it out on all Somali people, because that's the only thing we can think of. You know who Iman Abdul Majid is? Well, you should. Okay, she is literally the face of fashion beauty in the world. She redefined almost single-handedly fashion modeling in the world. African woman from Somalia. Contrary to what he's been saying, that Somali people have never contributed anything to the United States. Well, I'm telling you about a Somali woman who's contributed not just to the United States, but the entire world. She literally changed what beauty and fashion modeling should be in the world. Not because she was a token or stooge or a pawn to European or white American people, no, but because she used her brain. She, university student, university material, literally, for sure, and pure hardcore grit, hardcore work, determination, nothing but determination in Iman. My auntie, Iman Abdul Majid. She is Somali. I don't think he really realizes the extent of his words. I call it ass to mouth disease. He's got, I wouldn't want to bring in Alzheimer's and schizophrenia, because, it'll be some kind of an insult to people who may be afflicted, with those conditions. Law-breaking, criminal, old neck, voted in by these ignorants. I have a particular obsession with dictators, and constantly trying to figure out why they think the way they do. And Jacob Zuma in South Africa. So Jacob Zuma had a very interesting way of dropping bombs and bring the whole ceiling down out of nowhere. Jacob Zuma used to say things like, no one who was not born in South Africa can become president of South Africa. And we look at him like, why is that an issue right now? His wife took her own life because of him. Not too long before that. The mother of the two twins who were really orchestrating the criminality behind the Jacob Zuma presidency. The mother of those children of his who've devastated South Africa. Why is he talking about the succession of the South African presidency? That issue was argued over and over during the times of Nelson Mandela in our parliament. If you have a problem with the South African presidency, you need to go to the parliament and invoke those acts that were passed about succession with regard to the succession of the presidency in parliament. You can't just say that on the street. So we're thinking to ourselves, we scratch our heads, we say, oh, because his children were born in Mozambique. They were born in Maputo, in Mozambique. And he probably argued with them this morning or something. That's the only rationale we could come up with. And Jacob Zuma used to say things like, God helps those who help themselves. You say, well, why is he saying that? He's trying to justify his corruption, why he should be stealing and looting. God help those who help themselves. Like, where did you get that? From the Bible? That means stranded as we are. You got nothing better to think than that? God helps those. That sounds like a narco kingpin in Mexico who says, look, there is so much destitution here. So that doesn't mean you have to become a narco king. You go to university. That's what people do when there is so much destitution. There is no employment. I had a bad childhood. Everybody did.